Continuing on in Chapter 6, where we're talking about the overview of the editing concepts, we're going to move now into the actual editing processes and what tools we have available to us. We're going to be discussing a lot of issues. Number one is going to be coming off of these menus. We're going to have the capability of looking at some of the functionality of the menus. The first one I want to show you, we're going to be discussing on here, is the copy, cut, and paste tools. And so you see that on the table editor menu, we have the ability to copy selected rows, copy trees, cut selected rows, cut trees, paste the rows and the trees, and we have the ability to insert new rows or replace these rows. Now you see that the icons and the hotkeys are available to you. And we also have those same icons here on the menus. Here on the toolbars. And we have the editor toolbar and we have the table toolbar. And if you remember, when we in an earlier video, we came over and we looked at the toolbars. And when we manage the toolbars, we've got 4 toolbars. The table toolbar, pardon me, is on the right of the table, and you can manipulate which icons you want in which direction. If you'll notice, you've got the well, I might as well just go ahead and show it to you, the editor toolbar, which is right below the main menu, this one right here. And you'll notice the duplication of icons between the editor toolbar and the table toolbar. Feel free to modify these toolbars as you deem appropriate. That's what it's there for, so that you can modify them to fit your needs. But we're going to be using these toolbars quite a bit here. You'll notice that I've already checked out some of this data, and some of this data has been modified in previous videos. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this scenario and discuss how each one of these icons and what they're used for. Now, if you remember, in a previous video we had talked about the purpose of creating brand new data map units. And the reason why we create a brand new data map unit, we do not copy a data map unit, is because what comes with that copy is all of the data populated in those tables. And the HEL columns, if you'll notice, are dimmed out. And that's the reason why they're dimmed out, is because they are now obsolete columns. And so they're not editable. Well, if you copy and paste it, you can't edit out this not highly erodible right here. And even if I come in here and check out this particular tree, which is an object, data map unit object, I'm going to check this out. I'm going to come back down in here and I'm going to do a table editor, and you'll notice my clear cell is not highlighted. I can't clear that cell. I have no way of removing that data. I can come in here and highlight it, and I can hit the delete key, and it doesn't work. So you do not copy and paste data map units for this specific purpose, and these actually should be edited. They should be corrected so that these do not appear. Now granted, we also, to prevent perpetuation of this data, these columns are now no longer sent to the soil data mart. They're no longer exported out of NASIS, but it's still not a good policy to copy and paste data map units because of the hidden data. So we know that now. We're going to come in here and we're going to talk about how can we use these tools to our advantage. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up, and here is my COZAD, and I want to be able to grab that COZAD. Well, I have a choice. I can copy the selected row, but if I copy that row, all it copies is that specific record that I have highlighted. If I copy the selected tree, then what it does is it copies that row along with all of the child tables associated with that record. So that's what I want. I want to highlight and I want to copy. And now that I've copied it, I can come down here and create me a new data map unit, and these icons down below allow you to basically control some of your editing functions also. You can add a new row, but as I've just showed you, we've always have a new row available to you at the end of the table. And you can end your edit. Remember, I've told you the two options that you have for basically storing your edits back in the local database are by moving off the record, and this is the record right here. I could click up into water or one of these other data map units, and it would store that new data map unit back into the local database. Or I could choose to end my edit. Or I can choose to cancel the edit, and it would then remove that new record. But I want to end this record, and you'll notice that it now appears as a new record in my data map unit table. I'm going to open up the plus. It opens up to the component table, and then you'll notice this icon available up here. It's going to paste the tree, and it's going to insert those new records. So now I'm going to let that happen, and now I have a complete duplicate of the COSAD from the previous data map unit into the new data map unit. Everything is identical. Now that's what the copy tree, difference between copy selected rows, copy trees, and then paste selected rows and trees into the new data map unit. So that's how that functions. Now then, how and why would I want to use just a copy row? Well, if I come in here and I click on the particular data map unit, I could come in and copy that selected row and then open up my, come back over here, and I'll open up my map unit table, and let's say I wanted to create a new map unit. And once again, it's going to be a, let's say it's a consociation. And notice the National Map Unit Sim is just that. There's no symbol here because I haven't completed that edit. And now I come in here and I end my edit. And now notice that new National Map Unit symbol has been assigned. And as I told you previously, it's assigned based off of that particular record ID number, base 31. So I have to link my new my new data map unit to my new map unit, and that's done in the correlation table. Notice once again that because I've got that copy row from that data map unit in my clipboard, I can now paste that record in, and that now links. It took that one row, that one record of the DMU, and it then pasted that record in, all the information necessary to link this new map unit to this new data map unit. So that's the purpose of copying rows. Sometimes you do want to copy a row. Whenever you don't want the child table information, all you have to do is then copy the row. So I hope that explains the use of copy, both the copy selected rows and then copy the selected trees. And then one of the things we didn't discuss is cut, and that's basically mark the row for deletion. And cutting the tree, if you wanted to cut out or mark a selected set of parent and child tables for deletion. And then of course there's the insert, and then this one is the replacing, which would be if you highlight it over the component and replace that information. Very rarely ever used, but at least you know it. And then the other one is discard changes in the selected trees. And do you want to discard the changes? And you'll now notice that I no longer have a new map unit, and there's my new data map unit, and I can come back over here and discard all these changes, and now it's gone. So those are my oops button. That's basically what people call that. So this ends chapter 6, part 2, and then we're going to move into part 3, and we'll talk about the find and replace and some of the global editing functions.